Greetings, gamer guys and gals. Welcome to part 7 of my Let's Play Fire Emblem 5 Thracia 776. And in today's episode, we are going to be moving right along and dealing with this chapter, Chapter 4, Imprisoned. This is probably one of the most difficult chapters in this game. I said it before earlier in this Let's Play, and I have to say it is definitely ringing true. This game is incredibly difficult. This chapter is incredibly difficult, and if you don't have the means to deal with it, you can find yourself kind of a bit worse for wear. Now, I kind of want to put Matcha up here with Brighton so they can block off these two paths, but I actually think I'm a little bit late to the party concerning opening these doors. If I have reinforcements this turn, this enemy phase, I should be able to meet those reinforcements with Leaf and Gang. So I'm almost wanting to just say I think it's fine for Matcha to go up here with Brighton. Now, it is turn 7, so I believe turn 8 is when they first start spawning reinforcements. We're going to find out. Okay, it's not turn 8. I wonder what turn it is then. It's going to be soon. It's got to be soon. I'm almost positive that it's at least within these next few turns. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and open this door. Well, hey Prince Leaf, somebody's come to rescue us. Come on, let's make a break for it. Who in the world are they? Does it matter? Save those questions for when we're far away from here. Look, there's a stairway to the north that leads out of here. You go ahead, I'll give them soldiers what for if they try to follow. But what happens to you if I escape first? I expect I'll get caught and thrown in here again or worse. Don't matter to me none, if I can do some good before I get grabbed. I won't accept that. I'll only escape after everyone else has. Ha! You're gonna make me cry, Junior. Suppose I can keep you company for a time, if and you need someone to hold your hand that bad. Aw, who am I kidding? After hearing your story, I'm invested.
You're more a decent sort than you look, Fergus.
Falling for me already, eh?
Oh, please. If you think that, you must still be half asleep. Haven't had your morning coffee yet, Grandpa?
All right, lay off. But have you made up your mind about escaping? The Magi's head honcho is a fellow by the name of Ced. Same name as the prince you're after, right?
It's probably him, yeah, but right now Prince Leaf is the one we need to worry about. And besides, that coward Raydrik is using women as hostages. That's unforgivable. Any plan that gives me the chance to smash his face in is fine by me.
You got the skill with a blade to back up them words, lass?
I won't pretend I'm the best, but I'll give it my all.
Yeah, didn't think so. Ah, sheesh. These two kids I gotta look out for now. I love that conversation. It's funny, too, because, she mentions that Raydrik is holding those women hostages, but Leaf didn't mention that in conversation. I'm so glad that this game doesn't do what so many other games, especially nowadays, do, which is that they rehash things in the story that you already know just because characters have joined the story who don't know. Let it be spoken aside. That's basically what happened here, and I appreciate that. So first and foremost, we're going to be doing some trading. That slim sword can go on to Laura, and so can that vulnerary for the time being. Yeah, she can keep the iron sword. She's gonna have to, actually. And then we can go ahead and open this door with... Ooh, that's not good. I meant to trade the lockpick. We can still do that. But it's gonna be a little bit more annoying. Alright, so let's trade that lockpick over to Leaf. And let's trade Leaf his light brand and the brave axe. And we'll take that lockpick. we're going to open this door. And that's our turn. Alright, so our very first reinforcement here, and it's very good that we're just now facing this reinforcement. So one thing I could do here, and I'm half tempted to try this, is use Leaf to chip this guy and then potentially KO him with Karen if I can, because she needs as much experience points as physically possible. Alright, so who has my chest key? That would be Lithus here. We actually want to just move Lithus straight up. We kind of want to move just Leaf and Fergus straight up as well, but it would be nice to deal with this guy. Then again, we are going to be having reinforcements over here very soon too, so this is kind of one of those tricky situations. Well, that's... Alright, so Karen can definitely take this chest key. We're going to take that. We're not going to keep Laura or Lithus down here. We're just going to move them straight up because it just makes more sense for those units to go upward. Let's see. Fergus needs a weapon, and he doesn't have a weapon. We can't even give him one yet, unfortunately. I probably should have taken the chest key with Fergus, actually, and then did my original plan. I wonder if Leaf won rounds. No, not quite. That would have actually been pretty good. She probably would have taken that KO. Oh well. It doesn't really matter, per se, because one of the reasons why we opened this door later than you would typically think you probably should, you know, getting Lithus, another thief, to be able to open up some doors with Laura is very great, especially early on, because then you can have that access. But because there were still knights here and some soldiers still left around, I didn't want to open the door because I didn't want these guys going too far away from their doorway. I want them particularly guarding this southern passageway, and they will. Especially right now, they won't guard the right because we're blocking reinforcements there, and we will be blocking the reinforcements to the west in a turn or so. Now, the reinforcement here, he is going to spawn there. He has 5 movement base, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and he could have 6 movement. So the only thing I can do to make sure Laura is not attacked is to put Leaf in the way here. What this also means is that I have to move Fergus in such a way that he's not going to be attacked either by either this unit, which is, I mean, it's just right next to Karen, so it doesn't matter. I could, in fact, take the Slim Sword if I wanted, but he's not in range, so it's not that big of a deal. Then again, no, I think this is perfectly fine. In fact, we're going to go ahead and end turn right now. And there's our reinforcements from the west. The screen always pans to where the reinforcements are coming from, even if the reinforcements can't actually come, which is good. That shows you just where they are. All right, Leaf is probably going to have his hands full with this one. And the brigands, as long as they don't get destroyed, they're going to serve their purposes pretty well. Alright, rapier obtained. Awesome. I probably should have taken that slim sword. I could have moved Fergus up to help. The only thing I can do here, which is really unfortunate, alright, so he's only doing 2 damage to Leaf, which is kind of like a non-issue. My only problem with this is that though that brigand is moving up to this guy, and I don't want that to happen. I really wish Leaf had not missed. Alright, we're gonna trade the lockpick because I actually think I just need Lithus to do some damage here. He's only doing 5 times 2 though. Honestly, is that really that important? This guy has a vulnerary, so he will heal up. His constitution is 7. Fergus's constitution is 8, so this is just... His movement is 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could move Fergus 1 back. In fact, you know, it kind of doesn't matter. I'm just going to move him back and get the rapier. Why not? And then we're going to trade the lockpick. Now, why I'm doing this right now, I'm trading the lockpick back and forth between Laura and Lithus, is because of movement stars. The potential to move again. Now, is it guaranteed? No. But if it happens, like for instance, if it happened right there, then I could have opened this doorway. I actually probably wouldn't have. I probably would have opened one of these chests instead, because you kind of don't want these guys getting hit by any of the soldiers. So it's going to take 2 turns before Fergus can get up here and block a reinforcement zone. It's not going to be that bad. My only problem is that he is definitely not going to die on enemy phase, which means this brigand is going to go up there and try to capture him, especially if he hits Leaf. It's unfortunate that this is happening this way, because this chapter has been going so well RNG-wise. And I do kind of wish that Karen was a little bit closer right now, because she could have gotten a KO on this guy. Alright, so they will move back down to where they need to be after I KO this enemy. So it's not really and truly that big of a deal, other than the fact that I've wasted a couple of light brand uses. But, you know, it's one of those situations where, as I have said before, RNG in Thracia is very much so not lenient. It's not kind to the player. And some people don't like that. Somebody's come for us. We've got ourselves a real chance now. If I remember right, there's a passage to the surface just west of here. Yes, there is. And we'll take that lockpick. Alright, so no movement stars at all with Lithus and Laura so far this game, or this chapter, which is kind of odd. Usually they do get, I would say, a couple. And then our green unit brigands are going to come over here and help us with these Munster soldiers. It's kind of unfortunate that they're not really hitting, and they are taking quite a bit of damage, especially that one, but he has a vulnerary now. The cool thing about these brigands, you know, capturing these guys, is that they take away their weapons. So even if they, like, if somebody were to kill this brigand right now, he would drop that Munster soldier, but that Munster soldier would have nothing, literally nothing. He would just run for the escape. But because of this, they don't start with vulneraries. That's particularly why their AI is set to want to capture, because if they do capture, then they've got a vulnerary on them, which just makes everything better for them, combat-wise. Alright, so... Nope, no movement star yet. And no movement star there either. Again, it's unfortunate. We're going to be moving Karen up and taking care of those 2 chests while we're dealing with the right side in the chest and whatnot, instead of having our thieves dealing with that. This brigand should heal up, hopefully. Okay, no, he didn't. That's unfortunate. I mean, he's not dead yet, so that's good. And then the other brigand should be able to do some damage here. You have to be kind of careful about how you deal with this chapter. This chapter is very annoying and can be extremely tedious if you're not careful of like, for instance, your positioning. We're gonna open this door. 1,000 thanks be upon ye, Magi. Everybody make a break for the stairway east of here. Yeah, if your positioning is not on point, and if you're not quick about getting all the chests and stuff, you can very easily see yourself overwhelmed with reinforcements. The enemy reinforcements are dealing with the soldiers right now, which is great. Or the brigands, I should say. So it's not that big a deal, but it is something you want to keep in mind. They are a pain. Part of the reason why you definitely want to block these stairways of reinforcements is because if you do successfully, you don't have to worry about any of these. Oh, this is really unfortunate. Are you kidding me? You gotta hit. Learn how to hit. Do some hitting here. It's because of the civilians. They will get captured, and if the enemy who captures them escapes, you're just doomed. Door. Yeah, wow. You will not get 4x if that's the case. And right there, we would have gotten some reinforcements to the right. We did not, though, which is good. Yeah, the brigands are having a bit of a tough time. And when I say a bit, I mean, like, quite a bit. So we're going to be struggling here. Usually they pose a bigger threat to the enemies. As long as this guy doesn't die next turn, we should still be golden. Alright, lockpick received. That's awesome. So we got the other lockpick. I was hoping it wasn't in... It wasn't in the chest that Karen is dealing with right now. Alright, steel sword. That's actually really great. I actually want that steel sword on Karen. There's no real way of knowing that would be in that chest, except for, like, process of elimination. I mean, obviously it had to be in that chest because we hadn't unlocked the steel sword yet. Once we got the lockpick, we pretty well knew what was going to be in here. So that's kind of perfect how that worked out. Over the next couple of turns, we're going to be waiting for these guys. The civilians are going to take 2 more turns to reach, which means we could end up having an unfortunate problem here. I definitely don't want the soldiers to go to the right. So my thought here, especially if Karen was over here, would be to actually have Leaf go down to distract and drag these soldiers, especially because some of them have javelins, specifically 2 of them. And Brighton and Matcha just don't deal with ranged attacks that well. So we gotta kind of hope that this brigand survives, but yeah, he didn't. Alright, so some of them, well, one of them went to the left. Alright. Yeah. This is a little bit unfortunate. Oh, wow. Thank you for finally getting a movement star 50 years later. So the only thing I can do here that makes sense, I guess, I'm gonna have to let this guy capture one of these civilians, and then I'm gonna have to KO him next turn. This is gonna be this is gonna be terrible. this has already worked out to not be that great. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and move Leaf out to do some damage. Damage control, in fact. He's doing exactly 11 damage, so that's pretty good. 11 times 2. Yeah, had that Brigand survived even just a couple more attacks, he wouldn't have even had to survive that turn. Just a couple more attacks, and he would have been smooth sailing. I don't have the means to block off. I could rescue both of these units, but that just puts, like, a damper on the plan anyhow. I halfway want to do it, though. Can he reach? Yes, he can reach Matcha. Alright, so what we could do then is we could rescue you. And rescue you. And then what we're going to do is move Brighton and Matcha right over here, and then drop both their units right at the door. Or the stairway, I should say. As long as we don't get reinforcements from the east, and we didn't, because reinforcements happen at the start of every turn. And he attacked her up close? That's pretty interesting. Alright, so the only thing with this is his damage. If this guy decides to attack one of the civilians, who all have 10 HP and 0 defense, he's just going to flat out kill them. And if that's the case, we just have to reset, because there is literally no way I am going to be going without the unit I'm going to be getting in next chapter. Alright, Matcha. Pretty good level up. Fantastic level up. Pardon my French. Okay. This is not terrible, but it's not great either. Alright, cool. So, what this means is that we can start moving our units. We're not going to double attack here. Would have been nice if we at least hit. Alright. We are going to KO here, though, which is nice. We need to get Brighton and Matcha as far away from here as possible. And then we can start moving these units. Let's move you. We don't really want Lithus to be in range of taking damage from this guy. He does have a javelin, which is annoying, a bit of a nuisance, I would say. Personally, I wish that these soldiers all had one ranged weapons. They would be far and away easier to deal with if that was the case. But it's okay. You can find ways. Very nice, Fergus. Take him out. At the very least, Brighton and Matcha are getting some pretty decent experience points right now, so that's something we definitely can't complain about. And this unit is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go right here. And we'll move Karen there. We could move Brighton upward. We kind of want Brighton to stay in the range of this guy, however. So we can just finish him off, finally. We're not going to use that vulnerary quite yet, just in case this guy decides to hit Matcha. And as you can see, the reinforcements will flood in, and they just continue to flood in. And it's until turn 64. Again, Brighton, it would be fantastic, beautiful even, amazing, incredible if you would hit something. Something. Hit, please, hit. It's not that difficult, especially with a 76 hit. Some of these guys are hitting us with like 20s and 30s. Ooh, very nice crit. I think that was, yeah, it was definitely needed. He was only doing 9 times 2. Yep, they're going to the left because Leaf is closer. Which I did on purpose. Alright, Matcha is getting great level ups. That's going to help us for the later parts of this escape arc. Let's put you here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can put him right where he needs to go. Awesome. And let's go with another trial at getting him to get hit. This unit can reach Leaf there, but we actually don't want to keep Leaf here. We need to move our units up as quickly as possible and as far as we possibly can for specifically our opening of that door. The door that Laura is standing in front of is a very dangerous one. Behind it is a group of enemies that are going to absolutely destroy us if we're not careful. And this is the reason why I did not heal up with Matcha yet, because we need to be careful with our usage of vulneraries at this current time. So we gotta finish these guys off. If we don't finish them off, we're just gonna be doomed. Thank you for finally hitting. Let's see if Matcha can KO this guy. She's doing 9 times 2. I mean, she has a 98 hit. If she misses one of these, it would just be very unfortunate. Okay, now she can heal up next turn. It's going to be like another turn or two before we get everything ready and set. Since that's the case, we're just going to put Leaf over to the left so he can attack this guy here. We don't really need to heal up Brighton. I mean, we kind of do, because there are some mages in here, and if they both go after Brighton, he's probably going to get KO'd. But we only have 2 vulneraries. Of course, we have Lightbrand on Leaf, so he doesn't need to worry about using any of those. Alright, so let's end our turn here. Alright, so we are doing 10 damage apiece. This guy is going to run away and heal himself, so he's not a threat anymore. At least for the time being. And depending on where he runs away, he could just not be a threat for the rest of this chapter. Alright, so with that being said, and Leaf can go right here, and that should be good. It's not good enough necessarily, because I would prefer Brighton to be a space above Matcha right now. So he's going to be lagging behind a bit. Part of my strategy for this room coming up is to have my units in such a way that I can escape the turn after, which I should still be able to do. It's just the way that everything happened in this chapter at the beginning was pretty fantastic, but in the end, it was kind of a very bad and unfortunate misstep, just how everything happened. We were a little bit slow about opening this door, so we had to deal with the civilians over here. So hopefully this room turns out to be a little bit better, but with that being said, I want to thank you for joining me today, and if you like my content, please upvote and follow, or like and subscribe depending on your platform, and while you're at it, have a great and glorious day gaming.